Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel, whether you're new or you're coming back. I'm really glad you stopped by and I'm excited to deliver this message to you. Today is going to be a classic read, so we'll take a look at Divine Feminine, collective energy, Divine Masculine, and what's going on with the dynamic between the twins. And of course at the end we'll post some messages between the twins, what would they like to share with each other. At the beginning, I'm gonna pull a card for each of the twins from my oracle deck, and today it's the Sacred Traveler deck. Let's get started right away. I decided to make it nice and sweet, short and sweet today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be talking about the Arcturian gateway, which is gonna take a few days to unfold, and it's particularly powerful energy for attracting abundance and coming true of your plans into your reality. So we'll do like a custom read where we'll see what that means for the twin journey, and we'll get you some advice on what to do and how to manifest your dreams into your reality, because right now it's more real than ever, as long as you believe in it, of course, right? You need to believe it to see it, not the other way around. That's the main manifesting rule in the energetic realm. That again translates into the 3D reality, whether we like it or not. So, speaking of which, Divine Feminine has got two cards today: transformation and choosing your path. I've been talking about the time now is kind of like setting yourself up, setting the foundation for that transformation that's about to happen, that's coming in with the eclipses, and choosing your path. So all is possible. I was just talking about it that you need to believe it before you see it, right? Like that's the choice you are to make. That's like step number one on whatever path is that you are embarking on. The transformation says a fresh new way of living emerges. Yeah, so a lot to be excited about, and I'm getting a feel of this exciting, adventurous energy. Let's see what we have for the masculines. Taking shelter. The answers are within. Divine masculines are a bit more on the melancholic side. That's what I'm getting. It's funny actually, because in my main deck I have Hermit card on top of it, and I was actually kind of like, my focus was on this card, on this energy as I was doing the pre-shuffle, and now I've got this, which is essentially the Hermit energy, just in an oracle deck. So basically what Divine Masculines are feeling is that it's actually a very important revelation that they're having, that because they've tried to achieve that. We're talking about achieving goals and making dreams come true today. It's just naturally how it popped out, the theme of today's reading. For the masculines, and it makes sense that both of the twins are addressing this topic because, our energies are so connected. It's just that, of course, each of us individually will still face it differently in 3D space. So the masculines have tried conquering the world and reaching their goals in so many different ways by now. And this is the point where they realize that doing it 100th time, trying again, like some of them getting a keep trying, believing kind of, quote unquote, that it's gonna happen for them one day. They just need to keep pushing through. Some of them are tired of doing that and they don't want to do it for 101st time. Some of them tried a dozen different ways and it's still not working. So they're almost at the point where they're ready to give up. But something, this inner voice is telling them that it's just about changing the approach, taking a different perspective. And the answers are within. So it's not even about talking to 100 people about it, right? And trying to manufacture some sort of strategy. They need to tune in into their intuition and to the higher power guidance, which is not easy at all. Not easy, especially for the masculine energy, because by nature they're used to kind of pushing through, to making things happen, to being in control, being in charge, making a decision and following it through, and not that much about tuning into their intuitive guidance. We're not taught to do that. Think about your own story. Did anybody tell you how to do it in kindergarten, in school? And then imagine that these masculines get together with other masculines. That's not a story for success in terms of tuning into your intuitive gifts and higher power. I'm hearing some might be in a better position if in your family at least there is a respect for meditation practices or even for religion and prayer, but like in a real way, not like, you know, we need to keep to the rituals, go to the church, do X, Y, Z so that we appear religious to other people. No, if it's like true attention and admiration of the religion, right? Where it's about the faith, it's about the prayer, it's about living, I don't want to say the wrong word, but basically like living as a religious person in the decisions you make and how you treat yourself and others, right? From a kind and loving way, right? Like really taking your mindset to the next level about it. That way, in those families, it's easier. But for twin flames, news break, it's usually not the case. We don't have it easy. In the majority of times, in the vast majority of times, we have it the harder way. That's part of our transformation and the way that we can unleash our big potential and help other people. Okay, so for the feminines, we have the energy of Five of Pentacles, which is coincidentally is kind of a prayer scene because it's in the church, but it's also about loneliness. Excuse me. Yeah, so divine feminines are feeling lonely on this journey at the moment, but we'll get a clarifier too. Whew. But that was the true message. Always when I sneeze, that's a confirmation. For the masculines, we have the Hierophant. Okay, what do we have for the connection energy at this point? The Hermit energy and the Hierophant energy combination is actually a very interesting but exciting vibe, because it's kind of like masculines are understanding that they are the leader, that they are the wise man. They were always looking up to other wise men for advice, as role models, thinking that they don't know enough, they aren't good enough, but these people really have it, you know, they know it, they've got it, so I better listen to them and do what they tell me to do. And now they realize that, at least for their life, they are the wise man. That's huge. And then we have the Moon for the connection. So we're actually in the first quarter of the Moon. We'll have, is it the first quarter? I think so, yeah. Let's get some clarifiers. It's probably the last quarter actually. But yeah, the Moon energy, I feel like they're telling us that the next full moon is gonna be very important for the journey. Let's clarify Five of Pentacles first of all. Ten of Cups. Please clarify the Hierophant. Okay, we got the Devil, and please clarify the Moon. There is a fear in the dynamic energy. It's like the twins are in the mode where they don't know what to expect. We have Ten of Swords, the Magician, and Three of Wands. It's clarifications. Okay, so Five of Pentacles clarified by Ten of Cups. So this is the wishful thinking that Divine Feminine is having right now. They're really trying to stay in this vibe, in their thoughts, in their wishful thinking, realizing that it's their job to get themselves into the place of 10 of Cups. They shouldn't rely on the masculine or somebody else to get them there. It's not that version of a fairy tale, which is true, and it's a good thing to keep in mind. But what it's doing right now is that the feminist is seeing the gap between, like they do this kind of like expectation versus reality. So there is a big gap between expectation and reality. And it's another message I'm getting here is it feels like there's such a long way to go to get to 10 of Cups. And the feminines do feel lonely right now, that they have to do the heavy lifting, they have to do the work. Yes, I would just say, this is definitely the time to trust and choosing your path. To me, this is the equivalent of a Fool card in this deck. It's about having the faith that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, even if it doesn't look like that. And yes, keep working on bringing in happiness and fulfillment into your life without the necessity of another person to stand next to you, no matter who that is, right? You are your own master manifester, and you're the creator of your own happiness and transformation to the bigger and better tomorrow. The masculines have got the Hierophant clarified by the Devil. So I'm getting that the Devil energy that's on the background of this one is kind of having masculines being scared of stepping into this leadership position, especially in public. They feel like, I'm getting this sense of, they fear that they're going to be laughed at, that people aren't going to accept them as a wise man, as a role model. And like there is this inner conflict, where on the one hand, their intuitive guidance, when they tap into it, it says that they are a leader, that they are a powerful person, but then their conscious mind is telling them, but who is going to believe that? Okay, try telling those people. What are they going to say? It's going to be embarrassing and humiliating, and nobody's going to pay attention to you. That's the inner conflict process that's going on right now. But the good side of it is that it kind of keeps the masculines at the moment, so they're not ready to come out with it yet, or to share it, even with friends and family at this point. There are new findings, this new revelation, but they keep going back within to get more information, to get more answers on how, like, what do I do with this now? What are the next steps? Okay, I figured out what do I do now? That sort of idea. Yes, and together the twins are trying to leave the pain and fear behind and step into, like, have a faith that this is gonna be the, everything that they've ever wanted, to believe in this journey, to keep space, to keep setting intention towards it, to keep manifesting it into their life without karmic fear and trauma, without tying previous experiences to it and having doubts like, is that gonna hurt me again? I really don't want that in my life. And to me, in this deck, I was looking at this card, and actually reminds me of an abandoned amusement park, one of the classic settings of a horror movie, and where you feel like, it's scary, it's dark, and you feel alone. It's kind of like, what can possibly go wrong? Wink, wink. So there's also a lot of water here. So this person is actually walking in water, which means that there's a burst of emotions that's either happening now or it's about to happen. And the twins are kind of holding the fort, holding, the dam closed until it bursts, because it cannot stay like that anymore. So the twins are trying to find this kind of healthy balance so that it's not damaging and actually can transmute it in a healthy way and release the burden, right? This is the work they're doing. And yes, for those of you who are in communication, you may feel extra triggered at this time, but this is a time where it's also easier to kind of look at the situation from distance, right? Like an independent observer, and see, okay, yeah, that took me by surprise. Or like, I really felt jealous at this moment, or that hurt my feelings a lot. Why would they do that? You know, but you're not necessarily reacting in the moment and, you know, making a scene or arguing or leaving or crying. You're more composed when you're facing it in 3D realm, right? You can still continue having a mature conversation, a constructive conversation, but internally you like take a note on that reaction. How did it make you feel? So you can work on it, right? So it's like a classwork, like a course that the twins are taking now. And it's very different from what it was before, because it used to be more along the lines of like, it's a shocking experience and you cannot do anything with yourself. You can't resist lashing out or being scared and running away or whatever it was in your situation. And the same for the other person. And now you can see, and if you really, really observe, you would see the same for your person as well. Whether they're masculines or feminines, you know, wherever it is, they are a lot more composed, a lot more understanding, and supportive in the situation. That's the benefit of it. That's the criterion of growth, really, and of moving along, of evolving on this journey. Okay, let me get some messages between the twins. First messages from Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine. Oops. Okay. Oh, we got two cards here. The first card was I want you, and we have I need time for me, I'm coming, trust. So this has to do with this Hermit energy. Divine Masculine is trying to say, I'm figuring it out, I'm doing the work, just know that this is important to me and I'm gonna get it right. Don't take it personally. I don't think that I forgot about you or gave up on us. One sword, and I'm open to compromise. Yeah, so this is the part where they're trying to find a middle ground between these two extremes and the internal conflict that they're having. They're trying to find the truth, really. So it's not so much as compromise as like, this compromise this time is not really what it used to be before, because before the usual compromise that would go with was like the easier way or something that's not going to get them in trouble with other people. And now the compromise is like being as truthful as possible, as I can afford being in the current situation, finding that truth. Okay, what do we have from feminines to masculines? Okay, so we have, I just wish things were different. I think we should slow down. And I imagine you naked. So Divine Feminine's basically saying there is no rush. We have all the time we want. We value each other. We have a lot of attraction for each other. So there is no fear. I'm not scared that things are not moving along faster in 3D. I know that we're each figuring our way out. And the 7th year, by the way, this is very much about spiritual journey. And I admire how much you are becoming a better version of yourself, how much you're learning, and how much you want to learn even more. I'm excited for us and for what is to come next. I'm very attracted to you. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.